Good morning, grade 7 students. I hope you are doing well. Today we are going to evaluate ourselves by solving some exercises. Please copy all the answers on your copybook. Open your books page 58 and try to solve exercise number 1. Indicate the true statements and correct the false ones. Number 1, respiration is to absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen? Of course not. Respiration is to absorb oxygen and release carbon dioxide. All living things breathe by absorbing oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide. Number 2, lime water is turbid in the presence of oxygen. Do you remember what is lime water? You can review activity 1. Lime water is a chemical that tests the presence of carbon dioxide. It turns turbid in the presence of carbon dioxide. So false. Lime water is turbid in the presence of carbon dioxide. Number 3. Inhalation is a respiratory movement that corresponds to an air exit. Of course not. This is exhalation. Number 4. Gill filaments are the medium of exchange between the dissolved oxygen and the blood. This is true. Number 5. Air is impoverished of carbon dioxide. This means that air is poor in carbon dioxide. In a closed room for 30 students, students are living things. They absorb oxygen and release carbon dioxide. So in this room, there will be accumulation of carbon dioxide. So it is false. Air is enriched in carbon dioxide in a closed room for 30 students. Plants respire by consuming carbon dioxide and releasing oxygen? No, plants respire by consuming oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide. This happens during the night. However, during the day, photosynthesis occurs. Photosynthesis is characterized by the consumption of carbon dioxide and the release of oxygen. Now let's solve exercise number 7. Answer briefly the following questions. Explain where and how gaseous exchange takes place in animals of aerial respiration and aquatic respiration. So here the question is divided into 2 parts. First, you must explain where does respiration take place in these animals and how. So let's start with animals of aerial respiration. Aerial respiration means the respiration that occurs in air. Let's answer. In animals of aerial respiration, the gaseous exchange is between the air and the organism through the respiratory organs. There are 3 types of respiration in aerial medium. Thus, 3 types of respiratory organs. Cutaneous, that depends on the skin, pulmonary, that depends on the lungs, and the tracheal respiration. Now let's do the second part. Explain where and how gaseous exchange takes place in animals of aquatic respiration. In animals of aquatic respiration, the gaseous exchange is between the water and the organism through the gills. Number 2, justify that the exhaled air contains less oxygen than the inhaled air. Why do you think the exhaled air contains less oxygen? Yes, indeed, because oxygen is absorbed. So after inhalation, air rich in oxygen enters the lungs. Some of the oxygen is absorbed at the level of the alveoli to be used by body cells because our body cells need oxygen. This is why the exhaled air contains less oxygen than the inhaled air. Exercise 9. The snail is a mollusk that is found in gardens. When observed closely, please look at this picture. We see an orifice, the pneumostome, which opens and closes several times per minute. The pneumostome is a breathing pore. It communicates with a lung. Number 1. Indicate the medium in which the snail respires. When you are asked to indicate the medium, we have 2 media. Aerial medium or the aquatic medium. So, since the snail is found in gardens, so it depends on the aerial respiration. So, the snail respires in aerial medium. Number 2, specify. Specify means to indicate and justify. The type of respiration in the snail. Since it depends on the aerial respiration, there are 3 possibilities: cutaneous, pulmonary, or tracheal. By referring to the text, what is the type of respiration? It is pulmonary, since the snail has lungs. Number 3. Justify why do the pneumostome opens and closes several times per minute? The pneumostome opens and closes several times per minute to allow air to enter and exit the lungs. In other words, to permit the renewal of air. This is a respiratory movement. Today's session is finished. Thank you.